Apple is finally doing it. After years of rumors and waiting, the foldable iPhone is becoming a reality. We have talked about this for a long time. Every year, people ask when Apple will join the foldable market. We have seen drawings and heard leaks. But now, we are getting closer than ever. This new device is expected to arrive in September. That is not very far away. Today, we are going to look at what this phone actually feels like. We have a special mock-up to show you. It is based on all the latest data we have. This gives us the best look at the future of the iPhone. Let's talk about the size of this device. When you hold a phone, the shape matters a lot. For this foldable iPhone, the dimensions are very specific. When the phone is closed, it has a 5.4-inch display. When you open it up, it turns into a 7.6-inch screen. This is a very interesting choice. It makes the phone feel like a small tablet. Many people are calling it an iPhone Fold. Others think it might be like a new version of the iPad mini. Whatever the name is, the shape is the most important part. A 3D designer created a mock-up of this phone. This mock-up was made using a 3D printer. If you have one at home, you can find the files on Maker World. This allows people to feel the phone before it even exists. When you hold the mock-up, you notice something immediately. It is shorter than a normal iPhone. It is also wider. This is a very specific design choice by Apple. It changes how you use the phone with one hand. It also changes how it feels in your pocket. Most other companies have tried different shapes. Take Samsung, for example. Their foldable phones are very tall. They are also very narrow on the outside. This can make the outer screen feel cramped. It is hard to type on a screen that is too thin. Then there is the Google Pixel Fold. The first Pixel Fold was shorter and wider. It felt more like a standard phone that was just a bit smaller. Apple seems to be following that path. They want the outer screen to be useful. They don't want it to feel like a secondary screen. They want it to feel like a real iPhone. The 5.4-inch outer display is a bold move. It is small, but the width makes it work. It feels like a stubby version of the Pro Max. When you open it, everything changes. The 7.6-inch inner display is massive. It gives you a lot of room to work. It makes you feel like you are carrying an iPad in your pocket. This is what many users have wanted for years. They want the power of a tablet with the portability of a phone. Now, let's look at what this phone is made of. Apple is known for using premium materials. There are many reports about the frame. Some experts say Apple will use titanium. Titanium is very strong and very light. It helps prevent the phone from bending. This is important for a folding device. Other reports suggest a mix of metals. Some say Apple will use aluminum for the main body. They might use titanium just for the edges. Another expert thinks they will use stainless steel for the hinge. The hinge is the most difficult part to build. It has to be strong enough to open thousands of times. But it also has to be smooth. Apple has a high standard for how their products feel. They don't want a hinge that feels cheap. If they use a titanium alloy, it will be very durable. This is the same technology they used for their ultra-thin devices. It keeps the phone thin but prevents it from breaking. Everyone is watching to see which metal Apple chooses. The durability of this phone depends on it. The back of the phone looks familiar. It has a design similar to the current Pro models. There is a large cutout for the glass. This is where the wireless charging happens. The rest of the back is likely metal. If it is titanium, it will have a matte finish. This looks very professional. But there is a catch. Using these expensive metals makes the phone heavy. Apple has to find a balance. They want it to be tough, but they don't want it to be a brick. One of the biggest problems with foldables is the crease. You know what I mean. It is lying in the middle of the screen where it folds. On most phones, you can see it and feel it. It can be very distracting when you are watching a video. Apple has waited a long time to fix this. They did not want to release a phone with a visible crease. Their solution is very clever. They are using a special metal plate under the screen. This plate helps manage the stress of bending. It spreads out the pressure so the screen stays flat. Apple is also using something called liquid metal. This is a special material for the hinge. It is made using a process called die casting. This makes the parts very precise. Liquid metal is much stronger than regular metal. It helps the hinge stay tight over time. By using this, Apple hopes to eliminate the crease completely. If they succeed, they will be the first company to do it perfectly. This is likely why the phone took so long to develop. Apple doesn't want to be first. They want to be the best. Let's talk about the cameras. The mock-up shows a camera bar on the back. It looks just like the ones on current iPhones. But there is a surprise here. The rumors say this phone will only have 2 cameras. It will have a wide lens and an ultra-wide lens. This is a bit of a disappointment for some people. Most Pro iPhones have 3 cameras. They have a telephoto lens for zooming in. If the foldable iPhone only has 2, it might not be the best camera phone. Why would Apple do this? It might be about space. A foldable phone is very thin when it is open. There is not much room for big camera sensors. Every millimeter matters. Other companies have put 3 or 4 cameras in foldables. So, we know it is possible. But Apple might be saving the 3-camera system for a later version. Or maybe they want to keep the weight down. For people who love photography, this is a big decision. They have to choose between a folding screen or a better camera. Another major feature is the side button. This phone will likely have a side button on the right. Rumors suggest this button will have Touch ID. This means you will use your fingerprint to unlock the phone. Apple has moved away from Touch ID on most iPhones. They prefer Face ID. But putting Face ID on a foldable is hard. You have 2 different screens to think about. Putting a fingerprint sensor in the power button is a simple solution. It is something they already do on the iPad Air and iPad mini. The placement of this button is important. On the mock-up, the button is a bit high. It might feel a little awkward to reach. In the final version, Apple will likely move it down. They want it to feel natural when you hold the phone. There is also a volume rocker. It sits on the top or the left depending on how you hold it. These are small details, but they matter for daily use. A phone that is hard to hold is a phone people won't buy. The inner display is the star of the show. It is nearly 7.7 inches. The shape is a 4:3 aspect ratio. This is very different from a normal smartphone. A normal smartphone is very tall and skinny. A 4:3 screen is more like a square. This is the same shape as an iPad. This makes sense for Apple. They want the inner screen to feel like a tablet. It is better for reading books. It is better for looking at websites. It is better for working on documents. When you unfold the device, you are not just using a big phone. You are using a small computer. This is the hardware revolution Apple is building. They are taking the best parts of the iPhone and the iPad. They are putting them together in one device. It uses liquid metal, titanium, and advanced glass. It is a masterpiece of engineering. But hardware is only half of the story. The other half is how it works. That is what we will cover next.